Good morning, this is Pastor Jerry with Raised Ministries, and I've got my good friend Champa, who is our videographer today. Thought it'd be a good idea to show you how we graft tomatoes. I've cut some of these off of a heirloom. That's all we grow out here, unless someone gives us a tomato or something like that. And then we grow it outside the teaching gardens. The reason being is we're teaching sustainability, and with heirloom seeds, they propagate. With hybrid seeds, they do not. So all of these are heirloom plants. These are Cherokee purple tomatoes, and these are some cuttings that I took off of some Mr. Stripey. So we're going to show you how once we take the cuttings, we cut that way. A lot of times I'll remove some of the excess, we call them sun leaves, but this has a bud on it, so we cut it on a bias at a slant because that produces more surface area for the root. And this is pretty amazing. Then we have some root hormone, and I pour it in the cap. Then I'll wash the cap later, and any excess we throw away because you don't know if a particular stem might have some kind of blight or some kind of disease on it. So we're very careful in the garden. Then we take some of our soil, and once again we'll tell you this is soil that we've made from our compost and our decomposing mulch and red clay, and you can see how dark it is now, and we'll get kind of a close-up here. I just put a place there in my finger, and we always plant our tomatoes all the way down as deep as the first leaves. The reason being, now what happens is, the science of this is, and it's from our creator God, I don't know how anybody else could do it, these were stem cells and leaf cells and bud cells, and now with that root hormone, all of these cells that had differentiated into different types of cells, fruit cells, those type of things, now it will de-differentiate and make root cells at the bottom of that cut, and then the stem along there, it'll start producing a root system as well. So that'll make the plant very strong. Also, because we're not planting from seed, that knocks off 7 to 10 days. So it's one of those things, when we graft, we get an identical genetic copy of the parent plant, and these are Mr. Stripey's. So that's the way that works. You can see where I've already done some other ones. If you're doing this at home and you've done this much, once again, there's one I already did. I planted it as deep as the leaves. Take a baggie, maybe a quart size bag, put it over it. I wouldn't seal it at the bottom, but just put it in there, and then it'll make a greenhouse effect. Put it inside a sunroom. I wouldn't put it in direct sunlight because it'll get too heated. And over about 10 days to 2 weeks, it'll sprout that new system. And as it gets larger and larger, when it starts growing against the bag, then you might put it into another larger pot, take it out outside maybe for an hour, 30 minutes or an hour, so it gets used to being out in the sun. You don't want to scorch it. So there's a time that's called hardening off, and you'll do that process and it'll get to a strong plant. All of these plants that you see here now, these are all grafted. So you can see where I grafted some. Those are probably 3 weeks old. Those are probably 2 weeks old, and these are brand new that I'm grafting off of these. And so that's the way that once we take the cuttings, we begin the transplanting process. This is called grafting, and today this is grafting off of Mr. Stripey heirloom tomatoes. They're a yellow tomato with usually the yellow tomatoes are a little less acidic. We cut it on the bias. You see how that one sun leaf there is already drooping, and it puts a lot of weight, a lot of stress on the plant. So we cut that boy off, put in just a little bit of root hormone. This is all natural. And then once again, I'll make me a hole with my finger, and we'll plant it as deep as the leaves. And there we go. Didn't quite get it down deep as the leaves, but you can see the process. Then we'll water it good. Then I'll take it and I'll put it in the shade in the barn. So that's a lesson on how, once you've taken the cuttings, how we graft Mr. Stripey tomatoes. This is Pastor Jerry with Raised Ministries saying goodbye and God bless you.